Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Cynthia Howland. And Cynthia has this question. What might it mean if a person has a natural five-pointed star birthmark on their left breast? And I assume that Cynthia is asking this either because she or someone that she knows has such a birthmark and would like to know what it means. And the first thing I must say in answer is that the answer I will give is what it would mean to me. But the person who has this birthmark should also consider it in light of what these symbols might mean to them. And if there is a difference in how they understand them, they should pay attention to that. To me, it's a pretty obvious symbol. And we would begin with the element of the five-pointed star. The five-pointed star, or pentagram, is a very ancient symbol of magic, of spirit, of the afterlife, and all the things that go with this. And it has been in use in this connotation for at least 5,000 years and goes back to ancient Egypt. And the ancient Egyptian pentagram was not the unicursal pentagram that we commonly see today, but rather was 5 lines coming from a single center in the form of a five-pointed star. But its meaning was pretty much identical to how we take the pentagram today. By itself, it was dua, which meant prayer or magic or sacred things, and encased in a circle, it represented the duat, or the afterlife, and the place of the gods of the afterlife. And so the basic meaning of the pentagram in connection with magic and spirituality goes all the way back to its earliest known use, again, in Egypt. The pentagram also has early origins in Mesopotamia, where we see the origin of the unicursal pentagram, which we commonly see today, which is drawn with a single line, but is still the same symbol and has the same meanings. There, it arose out of astrology, but it's very important to bear in mind that astrology arose much later than the use of hieroglyphics in Egypt, and so the dua symbol was in use for at least 1,000 years before the earliest references to astrology exist. But that unicursal pentagram is said to be connected to the movements of the planet Venus, and therefore is an addition to the older meaning of the symbol. But in all cases, it has historically been associated with spirituality, with the spirit world, etc. It was also a symbol of the Pythagorean school of thought, which is a very metaphysical Greek school of philosophy, which you can read about at great length in our degree lessons, and many other places as well. The Pythagoreans notably used the pentagram as a symbol of recognition. So the pentagram itself is a symbol of spirituality, a symbol of magic, and of all the things that go with it. So having a natural pentagram birthmark would indicate an interest in or skill with metaphysics. Being placed on the left breast could have a couple of different meanings. The first is that the left side of the body is commonly, again, associated with spirituality and metaphysics. And being located on the left breast also means that this birthmark is basically over the heart. And so, taking these together, I would say that they represent that metaphysics, spirituality, and interacting with these is very important to the person at a soul level and is near and dear to their heart. And I would take that to be the primary meaning of the birthmark. Now, having said that, there's a secondary meaning it could also carry in my mind, which is that it could be a pull-through from a past life. I mentioned that the Pythagoreans used the pentagram as a symbol of recognition. They marked it in the palm of their hand, and in astrology, when a person has a natural pentagram created by lines in the hand, that's considered a very special metaphysical mark, in part because the Pythagoreans had used the pentagram on their hand. There have been other groups that have used it in other ways for recognition, and it's possible that this is a pull-through from a past life in which you have belonged to a group which used the pentagram on the left breast as a symbol of recognition. And if that is so, then my recommendation would be to meditate upon your birthmark and see where it takes you, taking the results with a grain of salt, bearing in mind that the messenger can warp the message, but I still think you could get some interesting information from that. So the basic meaning is a strong interest or affinity for metaphysics, and The other possible meaning is a past life connection. So I hope you find that interesting and perhaps it answers your question, and until next time, may you blessed be. Please join me for our Correllian Peace Prayer. I pray for peace. I pray for love. I pray for stability. I pray for the nation where I live. I pray for the world. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you for Pagans Tonight Radio. Pagans Tonight Radio is an online radio network with different hosts and different shows 7 nights a week. There's something for every taste, including Spanish language programming on Saturday evening. Check out paganstonight.com today.